Cowboys Nation. Welcome to your ultimate destination for all things Dallas Cowboys. From the latest news, game analyses, rumors, to deep dives into player performances and strategies, we've got you covered. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a play. Let's dive into everything you need to know about America's team. All right, folks, let's get into this one because it's been making serious noise around the league. The Dallas Cowboys might just be cooking something that could shake up the entire NFC picture. And yeah, I'm talking about T. Higgins potentially landing in Big D. Now, before you roll your eyes and call it just another off-season rumor, hold on. Multiple whispers from team insiders say the Cowboys front office has been quietly evaluating Higgins as the answer to what's been their biggest offensive question for years. Who's going to take some pressure off CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott? The Bengals, meanwhile, are in a weird spot. They've got to make big money decisions with Joe Burrow already locked into that massive deal and Ja'Marr Chase next in line for an extension. So, keeping Higgins on a long-term deal? That's looking less likely by the day. Enter Jerry Jones, never afraid to make a splash. Sources close to the organization say the Cowboys brass has been discussing what a potential move for Higgins could look like, whether that's through a blockbuster trade or a sign-and-trade scenario that would instantly change the identity of this offense heading into next season. If there's one thing we know about Jerry Jones, it's that he loves star power. T. Higgins fits that mold perfectly. Big frame, explosive catch radius, reliable hands, and that swagger that screams Dallas. The Cowboys have long wanted another alpha receiver opposite Lamb, someone who can win those one-on-one matchups and stretch defenses vertically. Higgins has proven in Cincinnati that he can do exactly that. He's not just a deep ball guy. He's physical, he blocks, and he's got that dog in him when the game's on the line. Now imagine Dak Prescott looking to his left and seeing Lamb, then turning to his right and seeing Higgins. That's a defensive coordinator's nightmare. Add Jake Ferguson at tight end and Tony Pollard, or whoever takes RB1 duties next season, coming out of the backfield, and suddenly this offense looks balanced, dynamic, and dangerous again. But the key question here is, can the Cowboys make the numbers work? They got cap considerations, and CeeDee Lamb's extension looms large. Yet, if Jerry wants to go all in, as he's hinted he might, Higgins could be the splash move that reignites the fan base and sends a message to the entire league. Around the locker room, the buzz is already growing. Players love the idea of pairing two elite wideouts. One Cowboys veteran reportedly said that having someone like T. Higgins would open up the entire playbook for Dak. And honestly, it makes sense. The Cowboys have been heavily criticized for being too predictable on offense, relying too much on Lamb to bail them out in tight spots. Defenses have started doubling him, forcing Dak into tighter windows and costly throws. Higgins changes that. He's a possession receiver with the ability to go up and win contested balls, something Dallas sorely lacked last season. Plus, his red zone presence is elite. He's a big target who can box out defenders, something that could drastically improve Dallas scoring efficiency inside the 20-yard line. The Bengals know his value, of course, but with their financial commitments stacking up, trading Higgins might be the most practical option before losing him for nothing. And if that's the case, the Cowboys could swoop in, offering picks or even a player to sweeten the deal. It's risky, but if it pays off, it could push this offense to elite status overnight. You can already hear the fans talking, man. Dallas social media is buzzing with mock-ups of T. Higgins in the iconic star helmet, and it looks good. The excitement feels real because, for once, it's not just blind optimism. It's based on actual logic. The Cowboys are right there on the cusp, a playoff team looking for that missing piece. Offensively, they've shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency has been the issue. Higgins could bring that stability. He's reliable, rarely drops passes, and performs under pressure, three traits every quarterback craves in a WR1. But let's not forget the narrative value here. The Cowboys thrive on headlines. They've always been America's team, built on bold moves and big personalities. Bringing in T. Higgins isn't just a football decision, it's a statement. It's Jerry Jones reminding everyone that the Cowboys are still in the business of making noise. And honestly, with Dak's contract discussions looming and Mike McCarthy possibly coaching for his job, adding Higgins could be the exact kind of shakeup that lights a fire under this roster heading into the next campaign. But let's be real, nothing in Dallas ever happens quietly. The speculation around Higgins has already sparked debates across sports talk shows. Some analysts say it's a perfect fit. Others argue it's just another shiny distraction. What's interesting, though, is that the Cowboys have reportedly been studying how Cincinnati used Higgins in their system, how they motioned him, how they used him on crossers and fades, and how he complemented Chase's skill set. That suggests this isn't just fan chatter. It's real evaluation going on behind the scenes. If they were to bring him in, it's not just about adding talent. It's about integrating him into a system where he can dominate. The Cowboys haven't had a receiver with Higgins' combination of size and smoothness since maybe Dez Bryant. It would give Dak something he hasn't had in years, a genuine mismatch weapon who can change games with a single catch. And when you think about it, that's exactly the kind of presence that could elevate Dak's play, silence critics, and give this offense a true identity again. Now, here's where things get spicy. Reports are circulating that T. Higgins himself might be intrigued by the idea of joining Dallas. And why wouldn't he be? The spotlight, the fan base, the national exposure. It's tailor-made for a player with his profile. In Cincinnati, he's been great, but he's always been the number 2 behind Jamar Chase. In Dallas, he'd have the chance to be the guy. That WR1 role, the primetime games, the chance to write his own story in one of football's biggest markets. It's the kind of move that could redefine his career. Plus, the Cowboys need someone hungry, someone with that chip on his shoulder. Higgins fits that mold perfectly. He's still young, still improving, and with Dak throwing him the ball, he could put up monster numbers. The chemistry between the two would be fascinating to watch unfold. So while it's all rumors for now, don't be surprised if this story starts gaining serious traction as the offseason heats up. Because when there's smoke in Dallas, there's usually a fire coming right after. If this move actually happens, the ripple effect across the league would be massive. First off, it would send a message that the Cowboys are done playing it safe. They're tired of the good but not great label that's followed them for years. Bringing in T. Higgins signals that they're going all in on Dak Prescott's window, aiming to turn a solid offense into something unstoppable. Think about the matchups. Higgins on the outside, Lamb in the slot, or moving around to exploit mismatches. Ferguson working the seams. It's a nightmare for any defensive coordinator. And for Dak, it's a chance to finally silence the critics who say he can't win big games. Give him this kind of arsenal, and we'll see. On the flip side, this could force teams like the Eagles and 49ers to reevaluate their own defensive blueprints. Dallas wouldn't just be keeping up, they'd be setting the pace. And if there's one thing Jerry Jones loves, it's being first in line when it comes to power moves that change narratives. This, right here, could be one of those moments. There's also a psychological element to all of this. T. Higgins represents more than just another weapon. He represents belief. Belief that the Cowboys are still willing to make bold moves to win. Over the past few seasons, fans have watched other teams go all in. The Rams, the Eagles, even the 49ers, while Dallas seemed hesitant, always a step behind. Adding Higgins flips that script. It tells the locker room that the front office is serious about taking that next step. For Dak, it would be validation. For CeeDee Lamb, it would be relief. And for Mike McCarthy, it could be salvation. There's a real emotional charge behind this rumor that's hard to ignore. Cowboys Nation is hungry. Hungry for change. Hungry for results. Hungry for a season that ends differently. And if you talk to fans right now, they're dreaming big. Because in Dallas, it's never just about winning games. It's about winning big. And T. Higgins, he might just be the kind of player who brings that energy back to AT&T Stadium. Of course, any potential deal has to make sense financially, and that's where things get tricky. The Cowboys have a number of big contracts to manage. Dak, Micah Parsons, Lamb, and fitting another high-value receiver under the cap won't be simple. But if there's one thing the Cowboys front office knows how to do, it's manipulating the cap. Creative structuring, bonuses, backloading. They've done it before, and they could do it again. The question is whether they're willing to sacrifice future flexibility for a win-now window. Because make no mistake, this would be an all-in move. It's the kind of gamble that could lead to a Super Bowl run or haunt them for years if it doesn't work. But let's be honest, Jerry Jones has never been afraid of risk. He's always been the guy who bets big and trusts his instincts. So if he truly believes T. Higgins can push this team over the edge, expect the Cowboys to explore every possible avenue to make it happen. The energy in Dallas right now feels like something's brewing, and where there's buzz, there's usually movement. The football world would go crazy if this trade actually went through. The media would explode, social media would melt, and every talk show would have Cowboy Super Bowl on the ticker. That's what a move like T. Higgins to Dallas would do. It would change the entire narrative of the offseason overnight. And even if it's just speculation for now, the fact that it feels possible says a lot about where this franchise stands. The Cowboys aren't content being good anymore. They're chasing greatness again, and they know they're just one or two key pieces away from getting there. Higgins could be that missing link, the final piece that brings balance, excitement, and belief back to the fan base. For now, we wait. But if history tells us anything, when the Cowboys rumor mill starts spinning like this, something's coming. And if that something happens to be T. Higgins walking out onto that field in a blue and silver jersey, you can bet the entire NFL will be watching, and maybe, just maybe, fearing the star once again. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. And look, the timing of all this couldn't be more perfect. The Cowboys have hit that crossroads where the roster is talented enough to compete, but not quite deep enough to dominate. They've got the defense. Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs keep them in every game, but offensively, they've lacked that extra spark. T. Higgins could be that spark, the ignition that finally makes everything click. He's entering his prime, experienced enough to handle the pressure, yet still hungry for that next level of success. The chemistry with Dak Prescott will be fascinating to watch develop, because Dak thrives when he trusts his receivers, when he knows someone will go up and make the play no matter what. Higgins is that guy. He's proven it time and time again in Cincinnati. When Burrow needed a big third down, Higgins was there. When the coverage rolled to chase, Higgins feasted. Now picture that dynamic in Dallas, under those bright lights, in front of 90,000 screaming fans every Sunday. It's the perfect stage for a breakout, the kind of setting that could turn a great receiver into a superstar overnight. But beyond the stats, the highlight catches, and the headlines, there's something deeper about this potential move. It's about identity. The Cowboys have spent the last few years trying to figure out who they are offensively. Are they a ground-and-pound team built around Pollard? A pass-heavy unit relying on Dak's arm? Or a balanced attack capable of adapting to any opponent? Bringing in T. Higgins could finally answer that question. He gives them flexibility. With him and CeeDee Lamb together, defenses can't key in on one area. They'd be forced to play honest, to spread coverage, to respect every blade of grass. That opens up the playbook for McCarthy and allows the Cowboys to dictate tempo instead of reacting to defenses. It's a move that's as much about philosophy as it is about production. And let's be honest, every great Cowboys era had a defining duo. Aikman had Irvin, Romo had Dez, and maybe, just maybe, Dak's era could be remembered for Lamb and Higgins lighting up the scoreboard. Still, the road from rumor to reality is a long one, and nothing in this league comes easy. The Bengals won't just give Higgins away, and the Cowboys will have to balance aggressive pursuit with smart negotiation. But if the stars align, and in Dallas, that pun always fits, this could be the kind of offseason move that transforms everything. It could energize a locker room that's been close, but not quite over the hump, inspire a fan base that's been craving boldness, and shift the entire tone of the upcoming season. Because here's the truth. The Cowboys don't just need another good player. They need a statement. And T. Higgins, in that star helmet, catching passes under the lights of AT&T Stadium, is that statement. Whether it's just talk or the start of something real, the buzz isn't going away anytime soon. In fact, it's only getting louder. And if you know anything about the Cowboys, that's usually the first sign that something big is about to happen. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.